Amanda, how are you this morning?
I'm okay. Seems a little realer than I was expecting it to be, but I'm good.
I like the new haircut, by the way.
Thank you.
So, Amanda, I've always, you're a deep thinker. I always, I always admire the answers that you come up with, and that certainly going through this Alpha course was no exception. So, as you think back on the 10 weeks or so that we spent together in Alpha, was there a concept, a truth, something maybe even about Christianity that was clarified, changed for you as we went through that time together?
The concept that really clarified the best was Jesus will always meet you where you are. And that's hard for a lot of people, including myself, because it's like there's a lot of stuff that's just not right. Things that you don't see, things you don't want to admit. And I think it's really important that it doesn't matter what stepping stone you're on or how you got to that stepping stone, like he's there opened arms, like regardless of like how unaccepting you are to your own self. That was really important because I've been a Christian for a long time, and that concept was just like, yeah, but it's not for me, even though like I love Jesus, I like believe in everything that he did, but it was just grabbing that concept that it was for me too. That's really hard, and I know it's even harder for anyone who's dabbling in wanting to find Jesus or finding out who he is. You don't have to clean yourself up to be accepted by the Lord.
That's tremendous. Yeah, it's so true that God encounters you right where you are. And so, as you look back on our time together, can you think of a time where you felt like you were encountering God in a deeper personal way for yourself?
Throughout this whole course, each week was a baby step as to me seeing how the Lord saw me. I was always afraid that there was so much more to me or so much ugly things about me that I just didn't know. And every time something surfaced, I was like, oh God, this is really bad. I was always afraid to keep going. So I never fully knew who I was. And the Alpha course helped me understand, oh God. The Alpha course helped me see Jesus for everything that he was as a human on this earth, that even though I physically can't see him, that he's still doing everything that he did or we heard about 2,000 years ago. I got to a place where I can see who I am completely, and the Lord still says, I love you for that. I don't have to guess about surprises of different personalities that I have or different things that I have to deal with. Like, it's all on the table, and the Lord is still saying, I love you, and that's really big. So my encounter for the Lord is simply just, I know, like, we can do this together, and that's a lot for someone who's never had that.
It certainly is. And go ahead.
Sorry.
That's what it's there for. I'm impressed that you really found Alpha to be a place where you could explore those kinds of things, go deeper, because certainly we're asking these kinds of questions, and to be able to address them in a very honest way, Alpha has to create a a warm and inviting, welcoming kind of atmosphere. What was that experience like for you in terms of the atmosphere of the group?
Honestly, it was great. It was great environment because it didn't matter how you were feeling that day, that like your feelings were accepted. Every leader was encouraging with deeper questions or just words of comfort that like, no, you're not crazy the way you're feeling. It just, you don't have to be fake about how you're feeling and who you are that day or that week or what you're going through, and it's just comforting.
Okay, fantastic,
Yeah.
great. So one of the things that was an interesting time for us was the Alpha Weekend, where we, because of COVID, we didn't spend an entire weekend, but we spent a Saturday morning with a focus on the Holy Spirit. Can you talk about your experiences? What stands out to you from that Alpha Weekend we did together?
The Alpha Weekend was really important because when I first was baptized, I didn't feel like I was able to celebrate. And then the Alpha Weekend was like my time to celebrate my original baptism with the Lord. But also he was just like, yeah, this is your day where you're baptized with the Holy Spirit. And I don't know if anyone saw me, but I was like down on my knees worshiping, and it was the first time I was completely transparent with the Lord, and everything was submitted. There wasn't like something that I was holding back or hiding or trying to cover up. It was just like, oh wow, this is what submission is. And it was really important to get to that place, to like, you're literally in a different universe, but like you know where you are, and it was really important to me to find that and have that moment, and to like be able to step forward with the Lord without like having to protect myself. If that answers your question, I don't know.
It does. That's tremendous. And it sort of leads into the next question. What impact do you see Alpha having on your life going forward? It seems like this was a pivotal, sort of transformational experience for you going through this time with the group. How do you see the impact now shaping your life going forward?
Moving forward, I can definitely accept people for where they are, and not feel angry about something they're not understanding, which was really big for me. And that there's so many different ways the Lord can meet someone, and I can't be narrow-minded based on like how he's met me. If you need scientific evidence, like I can find it for you. If you need medical evidence, I can find it. Psychological, like anything that you need to meet the Lord, it's like it's somewhere out there, and I'm not gonna be closed-minded because I don't understand something. So I think being able to accept another person and their difficult questions is what Alpha made me understand better, that I can keep moving forward, and not feel angry because I'm not getting it. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
It does. Thank you.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, what would you say to the person who has heard about Alpha, they're thinking about it, and they're on the fence and saying, "Oh, should I join this next season of Alpha?" What would you give them as a reason that they should go for it?
That you are loved. Your aggressive questions are not as aggressive as you think they are. If you think you're gonna dope the Lord, you're gonna find it to be really funny because he'll dope you. And most importantly, just like you are understood and you are loved.
Fantastic. Any last words? Any other thoughts you wanted to share about your experience in Alpha?
Don't be afraid and just kind of dive into the pool. It's great. It's scary at the same time, but it's so refreshing every time you go.
Amanda, thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's
you're
really,
welcome.
really a blessing for me to hear more about your experience. Thank you.
Thanks.